Well, hey everybody, Jonathan Doyle with you once again. Welcome, my friend. Welcome to the Catholic Teacher Daily Message. 365 days a year, 7 days a week. We're bringing you some encouragement as a Catholic educator because what you do is so important. Please make sure you're subscribed. Hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening, podcast version, video versions, and go check out all those show notes because, my friend, there is a bunch of stuff in there I want you to check out. You can book me to speak. You can get free access to the Going Deeper program. It is all there, so go check out those links. Today, the easiest part of my job, the easiest part is that every single day, the quotes that I use, the content that I use comes from men and women vastly holier and smarter than me. So if you hate the content, it's either that I'm doing a terrible job with it or you got to take it up with them. Because I like to go with the greats of the faith, the great documents, the great men and women, the great saints. Today we're going to do a really quick quote from St. Ignatius of Loyola. You may have heard of him. One of the great things about being Catholic is this pantheon, this diversity of saints that we have. We have gentle, fluffy, flowery saints. We have just saints that you definitely wouldn't bring home for Christmas. We have all this huge mix. Ignatius of Loyola came from a rich family, was a soldier, was injured at the Battle of Pamplona, near-death experience, incapacitation, trying to find his place in the world, and then goes on to basically blow up the planet with one of the greatest missionary orders of the many centuries. So a really simple quote. It goes to the heart of a lot of what I've been reading recently. So let's jump in. Here we go. Few souls understand what God would effect in them if they should give themselves entirely into his hands and allow his grace to act. So if you watched a video I did about a week ago it was called What I Am Reading. God has been messing with me. I've been on this journey reading Father Jacques Philippe's Search for Peace, Father Pierre de Caussord's Abandonment to Divine Providence, and Wilfred Stinneson's Into Your Hands, Father. All of these books are basically raising the premise that abandonment to the will of God, to the presence of God, to the daily way that God is working in your life is an incredible thing. I contrast it with our world, which is highly mechanistic, utilitarian, scientistic, and technocratic, which means that our world basically operates on this input, this outcome, this input, this outcome. Everything is controllable, everything is malleable, everything can be directed to some kind of outcome if we can just deal with all the variables. What Ignatius is saying is, what if we didn't live that way? What if we went through each day radically abandoned to the presence and the providence of God moment to moment? I'm still working this out. I'm still trying to work out how this manifests in daily life for me. But what Ignatius is telling us is that most of us assume that we need to keep pretty tight rein on our lives. We need to be in charge of all these different components because if any of them get out of hand, then everything's going to go to pieces. Whereas Ignatius is saying it's remarkable the incredible things that God can do through men and women who are really abandoned to him. Some souls get there just because it's a grace, it's holiness. People like me, if we ever get there, we get there because we spend enough of life trying to force our own agenda on reality, and we slowly discover that it didn't work, and we can keep doing it, or we can just trust God to carry us through whatever we need to be carried through. So I want to say to you that the desire to let God just act in your life, just to accept the circumstances of your life as they manifest, to accept that whatever's happening, good and bad, blessing and suffering, God is present, he's in your life, he's showing up, he is there. And the more that you give yourself to that process, to that reality, well, the first thing that happens, you get a lot of peace. You actually get a lot of peace. You actually start to trust and relax into the providence of God for your life. It took me about 35 years to work that out, so I'm trying to save you a lot of time. And the second thing, as much as the peace starts to come upon your life, is that you begin to really be an instrument in the hands of God. See, an instrument is only as good as whoever's playing it. I take my kids to a lot of classical concerts, and I remember years ago seeing Richard Tognetti, who has been for many years the chair of the ACO, the Australian Chamber Orchestra. I remember watching him play in Melbourne, and I was just truly stunned. I can still see it so clearly, what he was able to do with that instrument. Like, it's a piece of wood, right? Like, if you put it on a table and just look at it, it does nothing. It just sits there. Now, it was a Stradivarius, right? So this thing was worth, I think in today's dollars, probably worth about $400,000, maybe $500,000 at least. Maybe more now. And this violin was purchased for him by the Commonwealth Bank of Australia and given as a gift after they'd extorted huge amounts of money from all the rest of us. It was given as a gift back to us. Thank you, Commonwealth Bank. It was given back as a gift to the people of Australia. But once again, leave it on a table, it's an inanimate object. But when the instrument is picked up in the hands of a master, that instrument does the most extraordinary things. You can see the metaphor. That left to yourself, you're not able to create magnificently beautiful, wonderful, impactful things. But in the hands of the master, you can do the most extraordinary things. So this quote today is a reminder that as we abandon ourselves into the hand of the master, the divine maestro, then we as instruments become something quite extraordinary. So God bless you, everybody. I hope that's a good insight for you today. Please make sure you're subscribed. Go and check out all the links in the show notes, because you can get free access to my Going Deeper program, free access, and a bunch of other stuff. Book me to speak, it's all there. But for now, my name's Jonathan Doyle. This has been the Daily Message, and I'll have another message for you tomorrow.